Arne, we know Fulham can make it hard for anyone, but what was it about their execution that made it hard for you guys to deal, especially in the first half, in that space of 14 minutes, their 3 goals?
Yeah, that was a very difficult spell of 15 minutes. And I think apart from the quality you have and the finishing they did, it was mostly to do with our errors. First one, cross comes in, happens more often. We don't control the ball. Ball falls for Session's foot. Second, I think was the one where Robbo gave the diagonal, or was it the first? And third one, ball high in the air. Virgil doesn't win the duel and he's on goal and scores the third.
Yeah, those defensive mistakes on the goals. Do you feel it was just isolated moments? Has it been? Have you seen signs in matches before of some lack of attention or some patterns that you've been reproducing defensively?
No, not that I am aware of. I think in general we are not making many of these errors, let alone 3 in one game. Although today, I think it was 3, 4 or 5 minutes into the game where Ibu Konate lost the ball as well. Second half performance was of course so much better than the first half, but it's hard to win a game of football at this level if you concede 3 goals like this.
Yeah, and the second half, do you feel like it was more a matter of taking those chances because you guys created really good chances? You were in good positions.
Yeah, it was all about getting as much playing time as we could. And with playing time, I mean the ball is into play. Because you could feel that we were creating a lot of chances. We've had a few. But unfortunately, we lacked time in the end to score the third. And that has all to do with us conceding 3 in the first half, because to score 3 goals in an away game is very hard, of course, especially against a good team like Fulham.
It's only the second loss for Liverpool in the Premier League. You haven't lost in the Premier League since September, so it is quite outstanding. But do you feel there is a special level to manage these expectations or the attention around Liverpool now that you're getting closer to the title, closer to the end of the season?
No, I think there's always a lot of attention around Liverpool, so that doesn't start now. That's been there for the whole season. So. Of course, people want to make stories, and which is their job. But for me, it's all about playing Fulham, which is a good team. Many teams find it difficult to play Fulham, and if you then make 3 errors, then it's going to be hard to win a game of football. Now, people can tell me, yeah, these errors are made because it's the end of the season or for whatever reason. But I don't think that has anything to do with it, because we played a good game on Wednesday, and we will show up against West Ham again as well.
Yeah, you say it's not related to the end of the season, of course, the errors, but was it like a lack of attention, lack of concentration in 3 moments? Because it's not very common that we see 3 mistakes from Liverpool defensively.
No, fortunately not. That's also the reason why we are in the position we are in. Because if you do this more often, you're not in the position we are in. So it's one of our strengths that doesn't happen a lot. And if it then does happen, yeah, you can argue maybe it's good to have them all 3 in one game, because if it's been spread over 3 games, you concede 3 goals in 3 different games. Although, then you maybe only need to score 2. Now, second half performance, we don't talk about that a lot, I think was outstanding. So the amount of chances we created, we brought as much attackers as we could. We got our chances. In the end, we lacked time to make up for the 3 mistakes we made in the first half.
Thank you, Arne.
For Liverpool in the game, which Alexis McAllister got them up and flying, Micah.
Yeah, it was brilliant. You know, Liverpool like to press, and Fulham tried to play out. I mean, very strong there for Konate, and then it was about getting the second balls. But I just love the touch here from McAllister, the way he gets it across the midfield there, and then he strikes it so pure. I think you can see on this angle here with the touches, just gets it to the side of him so he could set up the shot, steadies himself, and it's a wonderful finish.
But what about the response from Fulham, Izzy?
Yeah, excellent response. I think we knew that they could cause problems in the wide area. They have all season. Sessegnon starts his run, running on the inside, allowing Pereira to exploit on the second phase, and then Sessegnon just reacts quickly. Micah highlighted at half-time brilliantly, you know, the positioning of Konate. Can he deal with it on that first attempt? But nonetheless, that finish from Sessegnon, wonderful.
And it seemed to shake Liverpool.
Yeah, it went from bad to worse from the defensively. So look at Robertson, we're looking at experienced players making bad decisions, and then they're getting a chance to get the recovery, and they don't quite get in the right position. They don't get close people down. and ironically then it comes off Robertson for the goal. But it's a shot on target, and but the damage is done the first half for Liverpool. The defending from Liverpool nowhere near good enough.
But the best to last. Look at this for a touch as it comes back in here on the second phase. Just look at this from the knees on Van Dijk. Get off, and can he finish? Gets a little bit of luck going for the goalkeeper's left, but you see better on this angle. He just nudges him there, and then the touch and technique to get it round, and then the composure to finish. Really well played from Fulham. And we expected that because Fulham are a good side. You see it there. Talk us through that, Izzy.
Me?
Yes.
No, I have to say this for Fulham after a tough week. The Arsenal game and the cup defeat must have really set them back. So this showed great characters to come back from being a goal down. Showed great qualities.
And character to get through the second half as well, because Liverpool had just 2 shots in the first half. They had 12 in the second, and when Luis Diaz edged one back, they could have been forgiven for crumbling and going under there, is he?
Absolutely. Like Mike has said, damage was done in the first half, but this is all about Conor Bradley. The positioning inside as a fullback, but the pass into Diaz is brilliant. And then Diaz with a snapshot finish, and then this obviously Elliott. There's probably not many other players you'd want in the league, maybe bar Salah. In these moments, Elliott catches it really well, shapes it, beautiful angle on the ball, but it just hits the underside of the bar. But it wasn't Liverpool's day.
Matter of inches, Harvey Elliott, from coming back to haunt Fulham. But 3-2 it finished. So 11 points still their lead, and still a maximum of 11 points for Liverpool to claim the title. Let me just also highlight Fulham there in 8th place. Only 3 points from Manchester City in 5th spot, which, as we all keep saying, should be enough for Champions League football next season. So a lot on as well for City when they face Manchester United here on part 2 of Super Sunday. You can get more reaction of Fulham Liverpool though right now on Sky Sports News and across our digital platforms. But yes, the Manchester derby takes.
Wanted to start talking about the game plan because a lot of things went well today up front with your wingers, but also defensively, the way you guys were able to be organized all the time and cause them troubles as well.
Yes, definitely. Our first half, I have to say that was almost brilliant. I said to you before the match that the perfection doesn't exist, even if you try to get it, but we have to be closer to the perfection, and our first half was really there. And in a high level, to be honest, it's not easy to start in the first 10 minutes to concede a goal, and was the only moment first half that you should have done better, to be a bit more aggressive in that moment. If you